Hi everyone, my name is Jen and welcome to the book Refuge. Wow, it's been a while since I filmed. It won't seem like it to you guys, but I desperately was trying to pre-film things before I started my new job, and because I put up so many videos, it just didn't work. So it's going to be going more to, I'm batch filming on the weekends, which is what a lot of booktubers do who do content. So I'm among the greats, that's for sure, but it definitely is different for me because I'm usually used to I can film during my lunch break, when I'm home, and now that I have a job where I get to leave my home, which I'm very thankful for, especially because it's still a pretty safe situation. I only work with 2 other people, and we're pretty separated. But anyway, this is work week, Jen, and so what it means is that when I don't have the gym or church or something else after work, I have to rush home and get the last vestiges of light that I possibly can. But what I'm planning to do is that when I have to do a work week film video, they're going to be a bit shorter ones. They're probably going to be my recommendation videos that are a little bit quicker, maybe ones that I don't have as in-depth to discuss the story. They won't have as much complex things. And then on the weekends when I can batch film, I can really just yak your ear off. So we're going to dive right in. You clicked on this video for some billionaire heroes. I believe they're all with a billion. Maybe some of them are million. You know how it goes. But basically it's rich boys, plots that have, lots of money raining down, and we don't always want to read them. But you know what? Sometimes a girl wants to read a story where we know she's going to get treated well, right? We have that fantasy. It's a thing that we want. It's why Christian Grey works for a lot of us. It's a thing. So I'm going to go ahead and dive into this list. Again, some of these are a bit older to me, so I don't have as much to say about them, but they were all books that I had rated either 4 or 5 stars, so that'll be good. Whew, it's toasty in my room, and I didn't have time to turn the fan on, so here we go. So the first one I want to talk about, this I feel like is a classic. It came out around the same time as like 50 Shades did, so it definitely fits the motif on the front of it of being a 50 Shades of Grey. It definitely has a damaged billionaire, but it doesn't include like the BDSM elements, and I definitely think the heroine is much smarter and I like her a lot more. And so that's going to be Bared to You by Sylvia Day. This series is just really delightful. I read it for the first time last year. I had never read it before because I came to more like steamy romances through a different avenue than 50 Shades of Grey, but for some people that was their starting point. And so then you kind of just went from, it's that cover, again, it's the motif, it's the, cufflinks on the page, or a glass of whiskey just sitting there, or, the mask or something that really spoke to people because it reminded them of 50 Shades, right? This is really great series about Lady and a Billionaire. Gideon, I believe, is the hero's name. Wow, I didn't write down the heroes' names of this one, but I think this one is Eva and Gideon. Correct me if I'm wrong. But this is actually a 5-book series, so you can they're all about the same characters, so you can really get into the nitty-gritty of this one. And there was a lot of ups and downs in this series, right? It's one of those, but I had a really great time with it overall. Then there is the Tapping the Billionaire. So this is actually part of the Billionaire Bad Boys series. There's Tapping the Billionaire, Scoring the Billionaire, and like Playing the Billionaire. I can't remember the 3 of them, but I know the first one is about a businessman and he is developing an app, and one of the people who works for him, this is like a dating app, and so the employees are supposed to test out the dating app first, and this woman ends up getting paired with the boss and ends up really falling for him. So this is one of like a hidden identity, because obviously he doesn't say who he is, and she really thinks he's an arrogant jerk in real life, and then when she talks to him on the app, surprise, he seems nicer than he is. Then I would be remiss if I didn't mention the Miles High Club. I held up the first one. This is the Stopover by TL Swan. This starts as a one-night stand when there is a stopover because of a storm, and then a year later the heroine walks into this agency to apply for a job, and boom, it's the guy she had a one-night stand with, and he's actually the boss, and what are we gonna do about it? Surprise! It's a fun one. The second one to this is The Takeover, which is my most favoriteest book of 2020. So, it can't be too wrong. Then I should have mentioned this right away. There's another series by Max Monroe. I didn't even say that Tapping the Billionaire is by Max Monroe. There is My Brother's Billionaire Best Friend by Max Monroe. I actually have a signed copy because I got this in a book box, which was really fun. I'd actually read this before. And there's a Billionaire collection, which is, I want to read more in this one because these ones are just really funny. Like Max Monroe writes these really great series and I just love it. So this one is about a girl named Maybe, which makes me roll my eyes a little bit, but she is supposed to be working with her brother's best friend, and he's like texting her to give her advice or whatever, and he's kind of like mentoring her for business, and then she sends him a dirty text and then things go from there. So it's one of those like accidentally sexted my brother's best friend, but oops, I actually really wanted to sext him, so was it as big of a deal as I made it seem? Probably not. This one was really fun. These books are always really sexy. They're pretty low angst usually. That's something I love about Max Monroe is like the books, the angst level is pretty low. There's not a ton of miscommunication that really happens. Obviously, it's romance. You're still going to have some of that, but I just really enjoy how they write. This is actually a duet, Max and Monroe. So, I mean, I'm here for it. Then there is Brooklynaire by Serena Bowen. This is like, this is part of the Brooklyn Bruiser series. This is about Nate Katzenberger and Rebecca, and for 7 years she has been his like assistant slash secretary slash work for him. And in the beginning when they first met, he had a fiance and then he didn't, and then he wanted to keep it professional, but really now he's tired of waiting. It's time to make his move and he's going after his girl. I absolutely love this one. I love most of Serena Bowen's books, guys. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty much a stan for her and the content she puts out, but this one I really enjoyed. I love Nate. The audiobooks for this series are really great, and I just love how it really is like him pursuing her because she doesn't want to ruin their friendship or their business relationship, and he's like, but we could be perfect for each other, and so you holding off that way is keeping us apart when we could be together. But she's the one risking the most, right? It's his company. He's the rich guy. She's the one who would end up leaving if something went wrong. And so he really makes some cool sacrifices for her. And so Nate is one of my swoony heroes. I really love him. Then we got to have some Cresley Cole. I think both the master and the player have pretty rich heroes, but this one particularly, this is about a grifter named Vice is her like nickname, and she's part of this grifter family, and it's her turn to have a mark and to get them to marry her and then steal all his money or whatever. This really reminded me of the show Leverage in a way, except they're not crime fighters. They, you know, they're going for it. And so she is a grifter with nothing to lose, and she ends up catching the eye of, I think this one is Dimitri, and he just becomes instantly obsessed with her and is willing to give her everything she wants. And she's like, is this too good to be true? I don't understand what's happening. And maybe it's too good to be true, maybe it's not, but it's by Cresley Cole, and you're gonna have a great time. This series, you can read them out of order. It doesn't matter which one you read first, but I do highly recommend both the Professional and the Master. This is the Game Maker trilogy. If you like Cresley Cole's writing, whether if you love her paranormal stuff, I think you should give this a try, because she takes that kind of paranormal alpha hero and puts it in like modern when she writes these, and it's good. Then there is Degradation by Stylo Fantome. This book has in it what is in the title, okay? This is a kind of second chance romance. The hero, see this couple, I do not remember the couple's name, but I know that I loved this series. Because I read this series like almost 2 years ago, and usually I write the names down, but I didn't, and I'm sorry. But it was, he was dating her sister, and things weren't really going well with him. Like, he was breaking up with her sister, and they have this like one night stand. There is no ramifications for him. She gets disowned from her family. She ends up going through some rough patches, ends up on her own, and she runs back into this guy who ruined her life and didn't stick up for her, have her back at all. And they run into each other a few years later. And he still wants her. Now, again, this has degradation involved. There are some BDSM elements, which include degradation, some consent, mostly all consensual situations, but not everyone loves degradation, right? So keep that in mind. It's a very different kink than a lot of other ones are, but I love this series so much. Stylo Fantome just writes fucked up books all across the board. Like, I have not read a book of hers that didn't have some level of extra fuck up in this. Okay, so just know that. And while we're talking about degradation and craziness, I might as well throw these two up here. So these are the first two books in the Cinderella series. There is Stroke of Midnight and Prince Charming. The third one, which is called The Glass Slipper, will be out soon. But yeah, this is by K. Webster, so you know it's going to be pretty fucked up. This is a big age gap. This is also... So the hero's name is something Constantine, Winston Constantine, and he's kind of a sick fuck. And when he catches this girl who's supposed to be cleaning his office kind of messing with it, he catches it on like the playback and he confronts her about it, but he thinks that she's really hot and really sexy, and so he offers to pay her to do different degrading things. And this one, it isn't the same kind of like degradation that you see in the book Degradation, but he'll ask her to like what's a good one? He'll ask her to like touch herself when they're at the table. So just little things that like embarrass her, and then he will like pay her for them. And so he likes her to negotiate payment for things. It's weird. It's K. Webster. What else can I say? The woman writes some fucked up books, and I say take my money. So I am excited to see what's gonna happen with this series. But I mean, that's Winston for you. I don't usually go for blondes. I really don't. But he's working for me. He's working for me. I like it. And then the last one I want to talk about, and again, this is one that, like, I don't know if this is Billionaire, this might be Millionaire, but what does that mean? I just love this series so much that I had to do it. So this is Right by Jana Aston. Jana Aston writes some really fun and quick rom-coms. They're all really exciting. And this one is about this girl. This one's also an age gap, a pretty big age gap. And it's about this girl. I can't remember who this one's about. Not Chloe. Chloe's her friend. I can't remember her name. What's her name? But anyway, she was in love with this guy, with her brother's friend, forever. And so much so that she's kind of stalking him, right? And so she has this plan to, like, she shows up naked in his apartment one time. Like, honestly, she's over the line. And then she wants this friend to give her a ride home. Oh, that's right. Her name is Everly. How the fuck did I forget that? My niece's name is Everly. And anyway, and so she wants to get a ride home from this guy that she thinks she's in love with. And it ends up being his brother, who's older than him even. So it's even bigger age gap, to bring her home. And he spends this whole car ride taking her back to the city, because it's after like Thanksgiving and their family, friends and everything. And after bringing her back, he spends this whole drive back to the city explaining why she shouldn't be with his younger brother, but she should be with him, because he actually has the hots for her and he'd be a way better match for her. And there's just something about the unique way that this story is told, because she actually is like telling him the story like in the car. And yeah, I just really enjoy it. I really love this hero. I love how he pursues her and how he is bent on winning her back, and he's going to do, or winning her for the first time. It's not even winning her back, and that he's going to do whatever he has to do to get her. And it's really sexy. Jana Aston writes some good sex too, with like mild kink. Like she has like bedroom kink, which is one of my favorite kinds of kink. So anyway, sorry if this felt like a more rushed video, but I want to get in a style where I can do recommendations a little quicker than this. So I left myself a goal to finish this faster than I normally would, because girls got to be a little more utilitarian with the time that I have to film. So the sun is just about to go down. It's giving me a nice glow back here though. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this. Thank you to everyone who supports me, the crazy woman that I am. If you're interested in channel memberships to, you know, have more of my attention, if you want it, make sure to check out those in the description down below or on the YouTube homepage if you want to. So thank you so much for watching this, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.